Cher here. Pop quiz. Out of the three Jonas Brothers from our generation, who was the favorite? Okay, time's up. So, how many of you said Joe Jonas? Well, guess what? You're automatically wrong.
Disney tried their hardest, making Joe the one who was going to make the Jonas Brothers famous. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. Every boy band has one. For Backstreet Boys, it was Nick Carter. For NSYNC, it was Justin Timberlake. For 98 Degrees, it was Nick Lachey. For One Direction, it was Harry Styles. Even for the Beatles, it was John and Paul. Jonas Brothers were no different, but towards the height of their fame, the one who brought them to the top was the youngest brother, Nick Jonas.
Okay, so why are there so many solo artists from boy bands who are named Nick? Like, seriously, you get, any random boy band, and it's more than likely the one named Nick who's going to be the famous one.
If you don't believe me, even Miley Cyrus expressed this in Hannah Montana.
You're Nick, the cute, sensitive one.
So, when the Jonas Brothers broke up because of the inevitable phenomenon known as aging, it was no surprise that Nick ended up rising to solo fame as rapidly as humanly possible. And Kevin was still kind of out there, except he was more to himself since, well, he got married, he has 2 kids, he has everything that basically supports him until the end of time. Joe, though? Joe is basically the throw-out of everything. Once he had a position, and when that position was gone, he basically had no purpose.
Look at this picture. Does he look like a guy that you'd find on those romance novels about bad boys? Even in the 2000s, he doesn't set any standards as such. He had one solo album in 2011, and I literally found that out 2 weeks ago. It's an electric pop album, and
it was Saturday when I got that call, far away from feeling tall. I know what the truth is. Just right and follow the truth. But I'm scared of losing you.
I mean, did these songs actually chart? What? See No More actually charted on the 2011 charts? Did the album chart, actually? Are you serious? The album was actually popular enough that it got placed on the Billboard 200 album charts?
Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. In short, Joe was not as famous as Nick was, and Nick was rising further and further up the fame ladder. And Joe wouldn't come back into the limelight until 2015, when he formed a pop group called Dance, with a couple of nobodies, and released their hit debut, Cake by the Ocean.
Okay, serious question. Was I the only person who was wondering what this song was actually about the first time it actually came out? Please tell me there's other people who actually were wondering the same thing.
Oh no, see you walking around like it's a funeral. Not so serious, girl, why those feet cold? We just getting started, don't you tiptoe.
Well, maybe she's not into you because you keep saying that her mood is the most funeral that you've ever heard in your life. This is why pop artists are, most of the time, the most unromantic people on the face of the planet. Well, unless you got the exceptions of Ed Sheeran and Charlie Puth, and then if we're gonna go old school, Michael Jackson.
To waste time with the masterpiece, you should be rolling me.
Now we're we're finally getting to the fruits of the message.
You're a real life fantasy, but you're moving so carefully. Let's start living dangerously.
Yep, this song isn't about cake, it's about sex.
Talk to me, baby. I'm going up on this, sweet, sweet baby.
How about no?
Let's lose our minds and go fucking crazy.
Holy crow, did Joe Jonas, the Joe Jonas, actually curse? Okay, that was a very terrible joke and I apologize for that.
Keep on hoping we'll be cake by the ocean.
So when he puts it like that, is Joe Jonas talking about what I think he's talking about?
Goddamn. See you licking frosting from your own hands. Want another taste? I'm begging, yes, man. I'm tired of all this candy on the dry land.
Oh, dear God. And I thought Despacito was dirty. Like, I thought nothing could get worse than that. But then again, with what Joe is doing here with his new pop group, if Miley Cyrus's way of killing off Hannah Montana was swinging naked on a wrecking ball and twerking against Robin Thicke's front side, Joe's killing off his Joe persona from the Jonas Brothers is talking about licking fluids. Okay, that was so gross.
You're fucking delicious.
Can we actually please stop? I think I need to take a shower. What could possibly create the perfect ending to a song like this, other than the last line? Joe, you did not just mean what I think you just meant, did you? Oh, Christ, why did you do that?
Joe, did you know that comparing races of people to food is not sexy by any means? Especially when you try to use funfetti as a term for all races? And red velvet, though, God, that's offensive.
Are you feeling just as grossed out as I am right now? Fabulous. But at the end of the day, I think almost every song on the radio has to deal with the S word, and there is no possible way we can ignore that. But the one thing that really gets on my nerves is that this is a boy band person who is trying to cling on to the little fame that he has by really digging himself deeper into the "oh, I'm over 18 so I can talk about sex as long as I want" hole. With that said and done, I'm just gonna give this song a 6 out of 10 and be done with it. Speaking of done with it, now that I am done with the song, I'm gonna go wash off, like, whatever it is I have over me that's giving me the cringy chills, and hopefully maintain the purity and innocence that I have left. I'm Cait, and it's been real.